for the $100,000 Midas Golden Challenge. His opponent now is 19-year-old Jim Poulos, who will be shooting first.
He was an amateur last year, Chris, and he just about won everything in the amateur ranks, decided to turn pro. He had a chance to be a pro baseball player. This guy's a tremendous athlete, ambidextrous, plays baseball right-handed, throws a football right-handed, bowls left-handed, can do it all.
So from Daly City, California, what an opening for this 19-year-old. Striking the first, Ellenberg is up now. 2:23 in his victory over Butch Soper.
Ellenberg seemed to get zeroed in the last 5 frames, threw him in the clutch. See if he can just maintain that pace, because he's going to have his work cut out for him if he wants to go all the way today. We still expect some bigger scores.
All even after 1 frame. Look at that right shoe on the left side of your screen.
Chris, he has worn off the whole heel on his right shoe. Now that for a left-hander, I just don't understand how he can get away with it. He loses so much leverage, he slips with that foot all the time. Look at, there's no heel left.
And a turkey on a 54-pin lead by the heelless Jim Poulos.
Chris, from the back angle we just had, you could see how that was worn at just an angle and almost completely worn off. And that's from his weight distribution as he goes up the line. Look at there, you can see it. It's almost peeling off. And I asked him before why he didn't change. He says, I bowled with these shoes so long, they're so comfortable, I have confidence in them. And he's right by not changing for 1 day. In a very commanding lead through 6 frames, 54 pins.
Leaving the 4-7 after 3 in a row.
Once again, I want to say that this man is ambidextrous. He says he can bowl right-handed and left-handed. He says he has better success sticking left-handed because in league play they did not let you switch back and forth because it's in a handicapped situation. On a pro tour, scratch, you can do it.
All right, that's a spare in the 7th with a young man who bowls left-handed and pitches baseball right-handed. I sort of like those at least 2 motors out there.
I don't blame you. Frank Ellenberg confused. Too far inside, slides by, leaving the 2-pin. Biss gets a break and knocks the 10 out. Watch the 10 at the right part of your screen. Frank is just struggling. He's too far to the center of the lane. This is an outside shot, what we say, outside the second arrow. Frank converting that spare easily. The only chance he has to come back this move is to make a big gamble. Now, to make that gamble, he's going to have to move about 10 boards to the right on the approach with his feet to get more angle at the pocket and look at around the first arrow instead of the second arrow. There is the area where he can scatter a lot of strikes.
Let's look at some of the other professionals, how they finished in the top 24 of the match play people.
Barbara Holman's husband just missed by 3 pins. Bill Spigner made a great charge. Matt Serena coming out of his slump for the Firestone, and Jim Plessinger.
And Frank Ellenberg, who looked so smooth in the first game and so in control, is out of control, trailing by 57.
Well, this looks like a replay of the 5th frame. Once again, too far in the center of the lane, sliding by and leaving the 1-2-4-10 washout. He ought to have a pretty good line on this now. This is the 3rd time he's going for it. It's tough when you're struggling out there like that. Cross lane, harder to get cross lane. The center of these lanes very slick, so he has to really yank it across. Not enough.
And now we have the final score on the 2nd game. Jim Poulos, the rookie, 212. Frank Ellenberg, who won the first game 223 to 207, shot a 156.
Good strategy, especially when you're a clutch player like Petraglia. Take your best lane in the 10th.
And a 32-year-old champion, winner of 12 PBA titles, including the Firestone, has opened with a powerful strike.
Jim Poulos, awful cool under the pressure at first game. We'll see how he does under the pressure of bowling against a man who's going to really push him. I feel Petraglia is as loose and as confident as any player out there on the tour today and has bowled so well this week.
All right. accepting the pressure after bowling 7 strikes in his 212-156 win over Ellenberg.
Jim Poulos had a chance to bowl right-handed or left-handed when he learned, Chris, and I asked him why he decided on left-handed. Here's what he had to say.
Well, Bo, when I started bowling at the age of 6, I threw my first ball left-handed and picked up my spares right-handed. But when I joined the league, my coach said that I had to use one hand or the other, so I decided to choose the one I threw my first ball with, and that's how I actually started bowling left-handed.
Okay.
Wise decision.
It's from Daly City, California. Oh, big double for Poulos, looking for that first win. And now Petraglia, who was born in Brooklyn, now lives in Staten Island, New York. Man who had the best match game record of them all this week, winning 18 and losing 6, had a high game of 277, must strike to keep the match even. Well, now he'll have to try to convert to 5-10 on the right lane.
What a bad break. Watch this pin action. From that tremendous angle and hook that Petraglia has, he'll carry this 9 out of 10. The head pin to the sideboard usually comes out, wipes out the 5, 6, and 10, but he knocked the 6 out, avoids the 5 and 10. 3-1. It's the same shot for a lefty. 5-10 is the equivalent to a 5-7 for a righty.
And Johnny Petraglia converts to 5-10. Winner of the Miller High Life Open this year. Watch it again.
Power and accuracy. Petraglia has a tremendous power. He showed you the deft touch of accuracy that he has, knocking the 5 into the 10, avoiding just dropping more than 10 pins back.
Strike in the 3rd frame for Johnny Petraglia. The winner of this match to meet Steve Cook for the $15,000 first prize. Next week, Nelson, what a challenge, a $30,000 first prize.
And that's the biggie. The Firestone can make or break a player's whole year. It's not only the $30,000 first, which is a lot of money, but the prestige of the biggest title in the game of bowling.
And the rookie hangs in there with a strike in the 7th frame. Now with another strike here in the 8th frame, he can get the lead. He had it by 10 early. 123 to 126.
Poulos taking a little extra time thinking this shot out, a key shot to take the lead over experienced John Petraglia. Boy, did you see the expression on his face as he lifted through that ball? He gave it everything. Boy, that was a determined shot to take the lead. He leads by 7 again.
There you get a look at determined look. Petraglia spare in the 7th, shooting in the 8th. All right. John Petraglia, earlier on the tour, had some troubles, and he said he had a summit meeting. He got a good lanes man. He got 2 or 3 ball experts and his wife, Pat, and they sat down over a long dinner and tried to figure the whole thing out. And whatever they figured out, it's worked for him because he won in Milwaukee.
Chris, critical shot here. If he wants to win again this week, he trails by 7. The 9th frame could take the lead. Just a little wide. He threw a nice, relaxed shot in the 8th frame on the right-hand lane. He went back with the same shot on that one. Did not get the lift. Once again, the pros very seldom miss their spot at the arrow, but they don't get their wrist in the ball enough, and it doesn't break as sharply as they expected.
See what he does at the 369 now. Here it is. .166 through the 8 with a spare in the 9th.
Situation becomes this. Jim Poulos could possibly shoot a .243, the best Petraglia can shoot his 216, but the match is long from over. Poulos' 9th frame could take a 17-pin lead, double working.
The loser of this match will earn $6,000. The winner goes on at a chance at 15 or 8.
He tried to shut the door on Petraglia, but got the solid 7. It's back in the hunt. It's going down to the 10th frame. Look at how wide that ball is. 7-8 feet from the pockets on the second board. Tremendous break. 4-pin to the sideboard. Does not take out the 7. Jim Poulos has to watch this. If he has one little quirk that he has to work on, is his spares, especially in the left-hand corners. Throwing that big hook, he often has trouble controlling it.
All right, he's to the right of center.
205 average, Chris, is for all the tournaments this year, 15 tournaments.
Did it well. A 19-year-old who had a 232 average throughout the competition here in the Midas Golden Challenge.
Situation becomes this. The best Petraglia can shoot is 216. Poulos is working at a 212 pace. If Poulos throws 2 strikes in the 10th and 11th, he will win. If he doesn't, Petraglia can once again duplicate the clutch performance he had at the Miller High Life just up the road 3 weeks ago. Too wide. Wow, it leaves the 3, 7, 9. Now he's in real trouble. He has opened the door for Johnny Petraglia. That big hook of Jim Poulos has really dug him a ditch this time. Very difficult split. You have to attack this split, Chris, by going for the 3-9 with a lot of speed and hope you kick it out of the sideboard. One other way, a possibility, is throw it right-handed. Jim Poulos could throw this right-handed, get enough angle on the ball to hook it behind the 3 and take out the 9. Not so this time. Poulos ends with 198. All John Petraglia needs is a spare here in the 10th to go on to the title match. A spare or strike, and Petraglia meets powerful Steve Cook. Needs a mark.
And Johnny Petraglia is in the finals